Welcome to deliciously with Ara. Ngayon gagawa tayo ng Korean street toast.
아침 안 먹었어요?
네. 싱크대 수도가 고장나서요.
수리공 불러야죠 그럼.
Can I finish all? Now? So basically, the Korean street toast this is a very popular street food that we have wherein normally binibenta nila for breakfast. So before you go to work, sa mga bus stations, they normally sell it so you can just grab and eat. Or even as a snack. It's very easy to make. All we need is actually our bread, of course, whatever tasty bread that you have. And we need 2 eggs. And this is basically our measurement for 1 serving. So 2 eggs and assorted vegetables, mainly using our cabbage. And we can just add onions, carrots, and spring onions. So let's start. So first, hiwa tayo ng ating vegetables. So we need our cabbage. Actually, the measurement of our vegetables should not exceed more than the amount of our eggs. So kunwari, kasi depende sa size ng mga eggs, we will just do 1-on-1 ratio with the egg and the vegetables. So for us to get exact measurement of how much vegetables na kailangan natin, we'll try to break our egg first. So, tanggalin natin. So roughly like 2 eggs is like half a cup or a little less than a cup. We'll have to use our vegetables not more than half of a cup. So 1-on-1 ratio or else hindi siya masyado maganda magdikit-dikit sa ating omelet mamaya. So let's cut our vegetables. So when we have cut our cabbage, we'll just put it on a cup para maging easy to measure lang. So roughly I think this is already like a half a cup. So we'll just add a little. So actually, very konting vegetables ang kailangan. And we'll cut some carrots for colors. Also, same thing, we'll slice it very thinly. So we'll add our carrots, same onto our cup, just so not to maximize the measurement of vegetables na gagamitin natin. And for onions, we'll just use very konti lang, just for added flavor only. So maybe like around 1/8 of this. And if you have leeks, actually leeks is very good complement to our street toast. So actually you can just make this with only cabbage, egg, and leeks. So I think this is a very mandatory ingredient to have. But if you don't have leeks, you can just substitute with more onions. So now we see that we have, I have actually more than a half a cup, but I think this is roughly okay. So when you make your omelet or your street toast, make sure to go on 1-on-1 ratio. So ang gagawin ko na lang is bawasan ko ng konti lang ang cabbage ko, para kasi nadagdagan ng konti. So there we go. I think roughly this would be a good measurement. And just to make it easier, sometimes ang ginagawa sa mga street vendors in Korea, they have this parang big bucket na hinahalo nila lahat. But of course, in the house, we want to do like a minimal serving. What I'll do is, I'll just put our egg here on our egg mixture. What I'll do is, we'll just add a little bit of salt and pepper. Pepper optional, just to taste. And then haluin lang natin siya ng haluin. And you can actually squish your cabbage kasi we just want it parang medyo matamlay siya ng konti. So just keep on shaking it and mixing. So now we have mixed up our vegetables and eggs. Now lulutuin na natin siya ngayon. So I'll turn on our fire. And in the Korean street toast, we need a lot of butter. So if you want to use butter or margarine, it's really up to you. Some people can use olive oil, but actually the taste of this toast comes from the very buttery taste that we can cook. So you can use like chunks of butter. So ang ginawa ko, parang before sa plate, I just made like parang small cuts lang, para just for easier for me to grease it up. So I'll just get like siguro 1 tablespoon or at least like half a tablespoon. I'll keep on adding it later. So imemelt ko lang siya ngayon sa ating pan. I'll add some more. This should be like parang you will feel naman parang it's too much butter, and that's actually the perfect taste that we want to have. So just keep on melting that butter and we'll cook our egg mixture. Dahil madali lang masunog ang butter, well, even though it's half melted, I'm just gonna pour in our egg mixture on our pan. And then isa-spread out lang natin konti ang ating mga vegetables. Now, we'll cook this on a very parang low to medium fire. So, para mas madali lang siya ilagay sa bread, let's just konting shape it natin ng konti. Para, if you have like a molder, you can actually use it. But if you don't have it, then just try to mold it a little bit with your spatula. And on the other side of my pan, I'm gonna toast my bread. So I also have another chunk of butter or margarine, whatever you have in the house. Melt it very evenly. And then we'll put our bread. While constantly monitoring our eggs and trying to shape them into like parang at least pa square ng konti. So I'm degreasing my pan constantly with my butter. And then let's flip it. But before I flip it, I'm gonna add a little more butter. Daming butter, right? But masarap talaga pag marami. Now, if your eggs is almost like around 90% cooked, we'll fold it. But I think I need more time to have it cooked. So there. And then ipo-fold na natin siya. The size of your toast. And then we'll still put more butter to toast the other side of my bread. So normally we used to eat this for breakfast because I think it's very heavy. So parang, diba, we want something heavy, greasy, oil, butter, sugar. Later on we'll add. It's a perfect parang breakfast or snacks that we can prepare. So now I think our bread has been toasted enough. I'm gonna add our egg. But before I put the parang patong my egg on my bread, I'm gonna add like a spoonful of sugar. So really the sugar makes a lot of difference on the taste. So like a half spoonful, we'll put it on our bread. And then we'll add our eggs on the top of it. And we'll put very generous amount of ketchup on the top, so on the other side. So now let's flip it. So there we want it like parang golden brownish on both sides. And we're done. So let's serve our Korean street toast. Because this is a street toast, pang takeout normally ang ginagawa ng tao, we just grab it, eat it on the streets. They normally serve it in the paper cup like this. But of course, in your home, you can just cut it and serve it on a nice plate. But I'll just show you paano pa natin kinakain ito sa Korea. So get a paper cup and then we just fold it roughly. Pagkasyain lang sa baso. And tada! Here is our Korean street toast. So when you go to work, although ngayon wala tayong work ngayon, so pretend we're in Korea, you're on the street going to school or going to work, just pretend lang, you grab this to go and then eat it on the cup like this. Let's go to our work. Enjoy!